You're watching VATV, bringing Brookline home.
Hey, okay, now I'm in the shot. And the lower third, I'm kind of eating the lower third, but hey, it's the Dispatch. It's me, your host, one man show, Mike O'Toole. We're in the studio again, and we got the chroma key background and all that stuff again, and we got great student crew here, learning about TV production. You guys, if you know me. You know that I really dig cable access television, one of my favorite things, video production. But I wanted to talk to you today about another one of my favorite things. And like the attraction to me with cable access is, you know, one of them is to document stuff and you can kind of mark time with it. And we all know, you know, everything kind of comes to an end. And I wanted to talk about something that was close to my heart that kind of came to an end, but it's not everybody is so attached, but I wanted to talk to you about my favorite video store, local video store, closed down a few months ago. And my attraction to the video store, well, let's see, I live in, I'm from Needham, and it's a stalemate, cultural stalemate in Needham. It's it pretty much, culture there right now, to start from the end, kind of go backwards. Like I already revealed that the video store closed down. So, video store closed down. I think one of our last bookstores closed down. So it's not a cultural mecca there in this suburban wasteland. So I was always a big fan of the video store because now I'm coming from a place of being a big fan of film and stuff and video and all that stuff and performance stuff. So, and to me, I'm I love books and everything, but with you go and you rent your DVDs, you can go through 3 of them in a night if you have time to kill. So that was the bag I was in for some time, is getting my own whatever I had to do that day, getting it done. Night comes, you're kind of this lone person, this artist type stuck in suburbia, where what do you have to kind of go to? The beacon for me was the video store. Beacon in the night, go to the video store, and you get to hang with these cool people who are kind of into film the same as you. I kind of came from a place of thinking, well, it's kind of this corporate place. They didn't really have the best foreign films and all that stuff. It was pretty much mainstream fare for the most part. But they started to get some more stuff, and you talk to people. Yeah, some people were just doing it. It's kind of a mick job. They're just getting through. But then you'd run into folks who are really into film. I tell you, they'll make connections to kind of things that you would find obscure, but they know this weird movie trivia. I got a being a Henry Rollins fan, I got a DVD of the one special that they have, the latest one, whatever one that he put out at the time that got the widest distribution, that actually reached a Hollywood video store. So I got that, and then I also got the Batman Beyond cartoon movie. So I got that, and so just thinking it's these random things, and the guy will tell me, "Did you know actually Henry Rollins? He does a voice in this cartoon where it's similar to his stage act, and he does this, and just these weird kind of connections. They're really wise to all this weird kind of pop culture movie stuff, and it's probably stuff more obscure than that even. But that's just one example I thought of. And then of course, being a Batman fan, Batman Beyond, I was thinking of right now doing the camera angles. I can't turn my head. I have to can't turn my body. I have to turn my head. So it reminded me of the Batman, like the '89 Batman, Tim Burton, where they constructed the suit in such a way, Michael Keaton had to kind of turn. He couldn't really move his whole body; he had to turn his head. So, and then kind of making connections, fragmented thoughts, making connections here. We just saw, a few days ago, we saw the Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton movie, which was the first movie I saw in 3D. And I was thinking, I sat through that whole movie, and I really don't know what I took away from it. It was visually intense. It was like, and if you're one of those people, if you went in and you, I'm not saying I did this, but I'm saying if you were somebody who took some drugs and went and saw that movie, and you saw it in the 3D thing, I believe you would be tripping out if you're like a paranoid type, because the big thing comes at you, kind of comes towards you, and it's freaky. But yeah, being a Tim Burton fan, I was kind of disappointed with that movie. It was visually cool, like I said, but not much substance to it. I really don't remember anything from the movie. It was like a big acid trip, and I come to the end of the trip, and I was like, where did we go? And, but back to the video store in terms of what it was to me. Just a place to go. It was open later than most of the other boring places in the town. So I'd go there, make the journey, and I would walk there, and thinking of what I wanted to get or what was out. And so anyway, you'd meet other maybe like film fans who would kind of remind you why you were into movies, because they'd recommend whatever, and just see all these big, huge shelves of all these different films and all these different videos. And I always go for like the later ones, the ones I hadn't seen that, I don't know, just really into the whole thing of like a physical place to go to and kind of hang out for a while if you've got the time, and check out all this stuff. Because, I don't know, it was just a place where like I could relate to, like yeah, I like music, but not so much, as much as movies, visual media and stuff. And I like books and stuff, and I like all that stuff. But for me, it was always film. The moving image are really cool. So to know that there was a place to go to, an actual place you could go, like I know Netflix is popular now. That's really cool in terms of budget, like, and that makes me think of the amount of late fees I had at this video store that I would go to. But I would go there so much, they were cool with me. They knew that that I'd eventually pay back. I'd give them, can I put like $5 toward this? And they'd be like, yeah, cool. And I don't know, just a place where you look at the different titles and you see, well, this could be, in terms of acting and stuff, in terms of, it kind of would reignite the fire in terms of wanting to get into an entertainment thing, because you just see kind of, to me, how otherworldly it is. And I admit that I am sort of a product of being brought up in a time where we're kind of bombarded with this pop culture and media stuff. At the same time, I'm kind of seeing acting and performance stuff more as a craft now, so I'm into it. But just something about the video store. And when I went there a few months back, I think I had already returned stuff, but it was just this ritual of going and knowing that there are going to be other people who are into what you were into. Maybe they would share stuff and just I think just being a fan of the moving image in terms of and storytelling. So it was great for me to know that there was this local place, basically roll out of bed and be there. And but anyway, so it was fun for me, and having sort of this crazy imagination. Like I said, having done extra work and different kind of involved with different entertainment type things. It's cool because I'd see, oh yeah, I would see something on the racks at the video store that I'm like, hey, remember we worked on this, and call back a memory, or like we taped our friends in this band, Mid-Atlantic. They opened for Letters to Cleo, and then you see this. So then you see like, Letters to Cleo. They were in the movie 10 Things I Hate About You. So you see that movie. Oh yeah, I remember that. It's like a story. It kind of triggers something in your mind, and you relate to it somehow. So for me, it's like twofold now. It's like I'll be into the film in terms of whatever the narrative is, whatever the story is, and then I'll be into the production side of it, how it really got going. And so there's two kinds of things that get stimulated in my mind when I think of these different movies, and that's what was so like stimulating to me about the video store. That I would go to this Hollywood video store that, all intents and purposes was kind of just whatever, not your cool indie video store. Like I would discover the Hollywood Express video store in Central Square in Cambridge. Cambridge being sort of more of a mecca for like artist types and artsy folks. Where they actually have like a local section where if you're a filmmaker, or you've created a show, here in the studio, whatever, you want to throw something together onto a DVD, slap some cover art on it, you can, it's like $1. They'll let you rent it out for $1, but they'll put it on the racks, and you can get it. And there's this whole big selection of, foreign films, just weird, obscure stuff. But I think it was the local nature of it for the other video store, Hollywood Video. And it gave me some hope, when I was trying to go into auditions and stuff, and I would go there and I would check out, these movies and just get inspired from it and just kind of enjoy it. And again, like I said, it was the idea of going to this place, kind of chatting back and forth with folks and knowing that there was this open, this place was going to be open for me and kind of welcome me and sort of know me, and other folks would come, and maybe you would see folks, like I would end up seeing a lot of folks like from high school and stuff, folks I haven't seen in a long time, but they would all come there, and maybe you have that cliche movie moment type thing at the movie place, the store, where you'd be like, oh, you're getting this film too. I love this film, and it's just sort of this meeting place. And it's like interesting too. I think movies kind of represent differences in terms of cultural interests, or just tastes in general, because it's always comes back to like the human experience, and so there like the throwaway popcorn movies. Some people are into that, and then there'll be sort of deeper stuff, more high concept works. And it's interesting, maybe like the big football jock guy goes and gets the really cool indie movie, and then the more artsy guy grabs like the popcorn movie, kind of tries different things, and that's what I like about it. That's what's cool. Somebody recommends to you a cool movie or a new cool book. You're not familiar with it, and you take a chance on it, and you find something that you relate to in it. And sometimes I'd put the same movie on. I would throw it on repeat. I remember I rented Lost in Translation with Bill Murray, being a comedy fan, student of comedy, of course, big Bill Murray fan. He can make you laugh like you can put your pants on. So it was cool. I got Lost in Translation. His sort of dramatic turn, more of an artsy movie. Put it on, and I just throw it on repeat. Throw it on like you throw on a CD, and you throw it on repeat with your favorite song or something. Throw it on in the background, and I've found that with a song, with music being a different kind of media, I'll throw it on, and you listen to a song several times and you kind of hear different stuff in it. You'll hear maybe the drum beats. Like I'm a fan of drumming and percussion and stuff. So sometimes I find I'll be listening to the great guitar riff, but then in the back you hear this new drum part you didn't really notice before. It's sort of these little nuanced things that I don't know. They laid onto the track, in production. So I find that same thing with movies. I'll be, watching a movie and you'll see some little nuanced thing, some little teeny tiny choice that was made in the film, whether it's like set design or a certain editing style or something. Because you watch a movie and it's always this phenomenon I've noticed. Whether you're like a big movie geek or you're like the casual viewer or whatever, like everybody I've sat next to, well, not everybody, maybe the folks who are less wise to, I guess, how much goes into film production, they watch, like, you watch Stay for the Credits. Those of you who do stay for the credits, usually people jump out, leave right after the lights come up in the theater. But they always go, wow, there's so many people worked on this movie. There's so many, wow, like, and my grandmother, like, do all those people get paid? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I have to explain, well, it's all unionized, and, if you do the lighting, you can't touch a camera and stuff, and so that's why we're really lucky here doing the old cable access stuff. Everybody gets a turn on the different pieces of the stuff that goes into production. Yeah, just a bunch of different people coming together to see this one vision through, and find that really fascinating. That different folks coming together, collaborating and stuff, lending their hand to a greater thing. So, I don't know, man. Just so, when I found the video store was closed, for good. Like, I was bummed out if I had made it to the store too late or they closed early or something. But you go there and there's a big poster, this store is now permanently closed, visit us in Waltham or whatever. Sorry for the inconvenience. And it just represents to me like how finite certain things are. You don't expect that to happen. You're like, this is my place, this is, for me, the other thing too is you can, with a movie, you can watch a movie, like as if you didn't know this, but you can watch a movie with other people. I think it's like a personal experience in terms of how you view the movie, like what you interpret from it, but the, like how you interpret the experience and stuff, what you take away from the film. But, with a book, it's a solitude. You can be read to, I guess, but it's not really the same thing. A book is kind of noted to be more of a solitary activity. A movie, I guess it's more social. I guess, hanging with your buddies. But it's just interesting, too. You can do that. So, to me, it was this solo thing I would do is go to this video store, maybe a couple times. Like when I was a little kid, I would go put pennies together with my best friends, and we'd all go to the video store, the local video store at the time. We would go and put our pennies together to get whatever video games that came out when I was like super into video games, and when you could rent them, you could get whatever you want and see if you liked it, and that store closed down. Years go by, this new store opens up, and it was a bigger place. And when I started kind of going out on my own a little more, it just kind of became this like bastion for, I don't know, it was like solitude in a way, because it was just me kind of checking out the different things, but then it's like this little like window into the vision of the story of whatever the movie was, being a fan of storytelling and all that stuff, but then it's also terms of production. You look at all the shelves. Wow, man, so many people came together to make this stuff. And I just found it really fascinating. And again, like I said, it became sort of this center point, this jump-off point for like meeting folks you hadn't seen in a while, because this is the only video store in town. Yeah, there's the library, but the library often didn't get the latest releases. You know, in the library, you got to be quiet in the library. And for me, I would go to this video store for like stimulation. You know, if nothing was going on, I was on my own. I wanted to be a part of something. I was into movies. I wanted to go get a movie, yeah, but it was also the journey there, and I was also hanging out there. To like, you go to the library, you got to be quiet, right? Be quiet. But when I go to the video store, hey, we got 50,000 TVs turned on, you know, flat screens and whatever. We have Blu-ray, the newest releases, and all this stuff. And it was like stimulation, you know. And it was not only that physical stimulation of the sights and sounds, movies. Remember when like THX surround sound came out? This movie is in THX surround sound. And now we got 3D with the movies coming back, getting popular. Like, movies are going to have a gimmick, I guess, you know, to keep getting folks coming into the theater, because now with the internet, like I said, Netflix earlier, and, you know, you can download whatever movie you want pretty much if you wanted to. But like I said, I was into the social experience of actually going to get a movie, and you'll find, you know, I'm not the only one who's into that. That's the whole thing in like Cambridge with their video store, and this other the Video Underground is another cool video place in Cambridge. I think it's in Cambridge. But lots of cool things like that. But for me, I was like really tapped into that in my hometown there, and so you'd see people, and I was always just interested in what films people were checking out. And it's also interesting being a fan of like marketing and stuff, and that whole thing, like what types of people kind of gravitated toward what movies, and for what reasons, and kind of listening to the chatter of like, should we get this one? Is this one supposed to be good? And then, I don't know, there's just like so much, for some reason, just so much I was into about it. And so yeah, to see the big sign that it was closed, you know, I don't know if it was like an economy thing, just not a lot of people renting there. I was always busy when I would go there. Seemed fairly busy, but it's just kind of that thing. Maybe the just that thing where you don't think that your favorite place, it just kind of seems timeless. It seems like just somehow it's like comfort food, and this place closes down, and it was like heartbreaking, man, because I'm like, man, there's not much to do in this square. What am I good now? What do I do? I'm gonna catch up on my reading. That's gonna be good. But it's not gonna be the same, and it hasn't been the same. It's been a while now. It's been a few months, and so yeah, it was just strange, you know, how you could go one day and you know, do your thing in this place with other folks, meet other folks that were interested in what you were interested in, talk about what you were interested in, and also get kind of tapped into the latest. I mean, we're bombarded with news now, TV news, and we have, you know, the internet and stuff. You can get all this information and entertainment stuff too. But to me, like, you know, a new movie comes out, it's kind of this little time capsule of you know, the time it was made, what its focus is in terms of a story, the look of it, and so that's one of the reasons why I would go and I would look at like the older releases, the older movies, or, you know, videos, whatever they are, whatever the content is, because it's interesting kind of to look back and see how things were done, see how those earlier works inform the later works and inform, you know, the stuff that's in the present. And that's true of other stuff too, obviously, with like books and stuff, you know. information changes, style of writing changes, but with a movie, or a documentary like a film, traditionally you think of a movie as like a fictional, narrative or whatever with actors and stuff. But I'm talking about, I guess, any sort of moving image piece of media kind of represents this whole thing of because the look can be different. Like now we got all the CGI stuff that's coming out, all the 3D stuff, and it's just kind of, I think media. I mean, in a lot of ways, our culture itself, how we are, how we act and converse with each other, and what we're into, in general, anyway, informs our media. Like what, because they're gonna keep, the fat cats are gonna keep making movies and music and all that stuff. They're gonna continue to make whatever sells. And so that as long as something is going to sell, you can make some money off it, they're going to keep making it. But I think also it's like a cyclical effect. It's like a circle because I think media itself also informs us, our culture, informs the people. I mean, you'll see kids who are, rocking whatever the latest music, whatever clothes they got going. And they're into it. It's like the whole search for, identity and stuff, trying to define yourself, trying to fit in with your friends and all that stuff. And so they go with whatever the current media thing is, the current shows, music, whatever, because they kind of want to fit in, or they think, that's the thing to go with. And it's not till later that you start to develop a greater sense of yourself, what you're into. You kind of pay tribute to the stuff you like. And whatever your fashions, your whatever you purchase, like your music and your movies and stuff, and your books, and it's not too late you develop a sense of media literacy. Like, okay, not everything from the media is this great thing. You got to look at different sources and come to your own conclusions instead of sort of being brainwashed by other things. So the video store was just a building to go to and to check all that stuff out, and to meet and share with people. And that's what I like to do on this show, is just sort of share my own thoughts and stuff and what I got going on. So I hope cable access does not close down as the video store did. It would be a shame. So I want to thank everybody for enduring me talking for so long, and for everybody hanging out. Students that came in, thanks to you guys. And it's been a bunch of fun. And so, hope to see you guys again. And I guess I'm going to be going to Cambridge a lot more, going to Hollywood Express to get the cool films there, where you can rent the films of my friend D.L. Polanski. And I hope you will rent those and come back and watch this show and just check out all of our stuff. Thank you guys. Good night.